The time right now is affordability is at an all-time low, inflation is at an all-time high. I see the effect of having wholesaled 7,000 homes. It's dust. Read my book, From Bigger Pockets. It was about ethical wholesaling. I think wholesale has 2 years on it.
Now you're transitioning to
Regulation is in favor, opening the doors from business to business. I'm not business to consumer. Right now I do need more houses. I'm not filling my demand. Entrepreneurship is a spiritual process, and money is energy. It's not created or destroyed. It's transferred from one form to another. If you're alive, you've got time. Pivotal for me, and I'm so grateful for you. I have a fake spine. I woke up one morning numb from the neck down.
What do you see the future looking like for you?
The goal is to create one co-living home for every house I wholesale. My heart, how I need it to, and I can fade to black.
Welcome to the Deal Champs podcast. We have another amazing guest on today. We'll introduce him a little bit after this. If you haven't yet, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. My name is Stratton Brown, aka Strat Daddy. I grew 2 different businesses to 7 figures before I was 30, and I had a 7-figure real estate portfolio as well. We have the Captain America.
We're here, baby.
Mr. Dean Rogers.
What's up, guys? Dean Rogers. Started my career in the NFL, then went to corporate, then into real estate. Been doing that for a decade now. Done over 750 deals. Got an 8-figure rental portfolio. And Strat Daddy and I run Deal Champs community, so you guys can check us out at dealchamps.com.
And we have the Godfather of wholesaling.
The Godfather.
The Godfather of wholesaling.
What's up?
The nicest man ever. The best.
My favorite genie.
Nice to see you guys,
I
man.
haven't
Always a
forgotten
pleasure.
about the genie.
No, who can?
Dude,
No, like I haven't.
how good is that
Etsy,
marketing?
And then I got locked out of my Etsy.
Okay.
And I haven't done, because I was telling you about it when we were down at your house.
Yeah.
I still need to get it for you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, it's listen. The genie's eternal. So when there's when you find it, and you
How
get
fun
access
was that
again,
time of you like just being super creative like you usually are and making all those different types of ads?
Yeah, it was great, man. Super creative time for me because I got to scratch a lot of itches. Like I've always had comedy in my background. I was in Los Angeles for half a decade, performing, doing open mics, stand-up, sketch comedy. I was really the first love for me was laughter, right? And it was, I think, one of those coping mechanisms as a kid, first generation immigrant growing up in a really, really unfriendly environment. In order to just get along and belong and fit in, you got to figure it out, right? And so they didn't like me I was always picked last in sports. I was the, this smelly Indian kid who was new to the neighborhood, so no one wanted me around either. And so you had to make people laugh if you really didn't want to get the crap beat out of you. And so that's just kind of how I figured it out, But it was a really good time, Dean. I enjoyed making those ads, writing them, performing them, and then they blew up, right? Created one of the most incredible wholesaling communities that has existed. Still, I've closed it down. I don't offer astro flipping to new people any longer. We don't sell it. But I still maintain it. And even though I haven't sold an astro flipping, community membership in 2 years, so I haven't really made any money in that world from that. I still go there. I still run a call twice a week. I'm so invested in the people and their success, and I still get to do deals with these guys. So it's like I built a community of 6,000 badasses that are killing it in wholesaling, and I get to do deals with them. And so the purpose of it ended up being such an incredible thing because a lot of times you get educators who teach something that they don't do.
Right.
And so like they teach it and until they don't teach it anymore and then they're out of the space. Well, I was lucky because I was really good at what I was doing and then I taught it really well to the people who learned and I took action and now they feed me deals. So this whole beautiful thing transpired and it's just, it's incredible.
Why do you want to move back to California and pay those taxes?
A girl.
And are you just like,
I met a girl.
I'll just eat the taxes. The girl, I'll eat the taxes.
I think that's pretty much any man who lives in California is probably at some level.
I lived there for Kalani, and she doesn't want to leave.
Yeah. So at some level, there's probably a little bit of that going on. So you pick your bads, right? And the summers here in Phoenix are oppressively hot. Yeah. The summers in Southern California are not. They're amazing.
Pretty nice.
I'm a hoodie guy. I love hoodies. So even
in the summer you're wearing a hoodie, maybe even some joggers.
Yeah, cooler mornings.
You could not wear it and still feel fine.
Exactly. So everything about SoCal is, not my cup of tea politically
Yeah.
and all the other things.
It's wild there.
Yeah, but otherwise it's gorgeous, and I'm enjoying that part. And plus, I have a whole fresh new life that I wanna unfold. So
It's a new season.
Yeah.
I feel like that plays a lot into it because now you can essentially it's a whole new set of everything that you could ever want to do again.
Of course.
When you start over there.
Yeah, and then you make new memories. You don't have old ones to kind of try to compete or erase. Not that I'd ever even want to. I'm so content with how my life has been up to this point, and really grateful for everyone and everything that's been in it. And now it's just a new season, so I get to go in and keep all the good stuff that's been in my life to this point and compound on that and make better things.
Why not Orange County?
Well, my girl has a really big career. She's a C-level executive in a big HR staffing firm. They're headquartered in LA. And so actually they're headquartered in the Bay Area, but she runs a big office in LA. And so if they were in Orange County, we'd be there. We're where because I'm an internet guy, right? So I can work from anywhere. I can work from Europe. I could work, not that I'd want to, but I could work really from anywhere. I have an internet connection and a laptop. So for me, it's not necessarily important where I am. Home for me is definitely where the people are. Yeah.
Love that. So talking about new seasons.
Yeah.
You've been moving into co-living. We were talking about that before getting the pod started. That seems really exciting for you.
It really
Tell
is.
us about that, how you transitioned even into it.
Well, it's a real funny thing, right? I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey here to kind of show you the serendipity behind it. I believe in signs. I believe in the universe kind of lining up for you in certain ways, giving you signals that things are important to change and that you have to let things go in order for other things to arrive. And so, when I got into wholesaling, I wasn't trained classically in real estate by anybody. I didn't have a mentor in that way. I figured it out. I bootstrapped wholesaling. I thought I invented it back in the day. I'm not kidding you. Early 2000s, right? And so I didn't obviously invent it, but for me, I invented it. And in Canada, when I was calling real estate attorneys to try to figure out how I could do a transaction where I was going to make some money, but I didn't have any money to do it, I learned that the mechanism, and what they call it in Canada, is called a skip transfer. That's the term for wholesaling, right? Wow. And so I do my first deal, which then ultimately turns into a rise and an ultimate fall in real estate in Canada. As the Great Recession happened, it was just inevitable it was going to happen. Plus, I was in my early 20s and I didn't save anything, so it's just the classic first rodeo, right? Yeah. Now, I did my first deal walking my dog. I was walking my dog. I walked by a for rent by owner, and it was a house I tried to rent a little while early, like a few months prior, but couldn't afford it because of $200 a month. And so I called the for rent sign, it's still up months later, and I asked her if she'd be interested in selling it instead of renting it. She said, been having a hard time. And she said, yeah, of course, if I have the right number. And I asked what the number was, and she says, $350, right? I run to the people that I've learned that are tearing these houses down and are building duplexes, and I ask, what would you pay for this house? And they say $400,000. And so after cold calling hundreds of real estate attorneys trying to figure out how to do it, I learn about it. Mm-hmm. So I do my first wholesaling deal as a result of walking my dog, right? Really fun. Build this incredible business. You guys know the success of KeyGlee. All of the things have happened as a result of that one thing. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll wind you back to a couple of years ago. I'm out here in this neighborhood actually walking my dog. And I'm at the corner and I see an Astro van parked on the street. And it's an older Astro van, right? They don't make Ford Astro vans anymore. And so I see that, and it catches my attention because of Astro flipping, and I'm like,
you were
what a
trying
cool
to see if
thing.
there was any candy in there.
Yeah,
right?
It's just like or a genie or something, or a wholesale deal, something in there, right? That was interesting, but it was just really run down and parked there, and I thought, wow, that's out of place. And so I keep walking. Next morning, walking my dog a little earlier, and the car is live. The doors are all open. The trunk is open, and I see little kids in the trunk, and they're playing, and I see a mom, and I see a guy standing outside fixing a suit. Homeboy's putting a suit on. So I walk up, and I ask, hey guys, how's it going? You guys good? Now, immediately, they thought I was there to bother them and tell them to get away and leave, and so they were really defensive to start. And I said, guys, I'm not here to cause you any grief. I'm just curious, right? Yeah. what brought you here? Like, what's happening? And I think maybe my demeanor or my energy disarmed them, and they just opened up. And the man had said that they were renting a house. They had rented it for 15 years. It was in the West Valley here in Phoenix. And they hadn't had any rent increases. It was just a really nice owner. They really understood their situation and were kind. They end up having some kids and, the whole life, right? Come to find out, they sold the house to an investor who then knocked on the door and gave them a 30-day notice. They were on a month-to-month lease for years.
Sure.
And in Arizona, that's all you need to do is 30 days. So they get a 30-day notice, and then they're like, okay, well, we got to go find another rental for $1,500 a month. Bro.
Couldn't find it.
They were living in a 4-bed, 2-bath house in the west side of Phoenix. That's like an easy $2,500, $2,600 a month payment. They couldn't afford it. They just couldn't find anything. So they're in their car. And, I see this and I'm like, wow, this is terrible, because he's explaining to me what they got to do. He goes to work. She drives around looking for Starbucks, McDonald's, and she goes in, they order a little thing, the kids go in, they stay cool because it's hot. They can't afford to keep the car running for the AC in the van. So they're just driving around, staying cool until they pick him up from work. And they can't afford childcare, so she can't work. So this is their situation, right? They're saving, but they need to save a lot of money before they're going to be able to rent another house. And so it's just, they got to make do. And, it's heartbreaking, right? But I ask, what was the house? Like, what was the address? And he tells it to me. I go into my phone and I type it in, and KeyGlee wholesaled it. Now, we didn't get it direct to seller under contract. We do a lot of JVs, right? So this was brought to us by another wholesaler, and we dispoed it. But there it was. My company sold the house.
How crazy is that?
Right? And so, all of this comes full circle for me, and it's right in front of my face. And I have one of these moments again, right? And I'm like, my dog fucking, what did you do?
Steered me to another thing.
Steered me into this whole thing, and now I've got this crisis that I'm dealing with, because I see the effect of having wholesaled 7,000 homes, And not that I have this bleeding heart idea of against wholesaling. Wholesaling is amazing, and I know what it does, and it's blessed me and blessed hundreds and thousands of other people, and has made people's lives better and all the things, right? But there's a cost. There is a cost, and we would really be just willfully blind to ignore it. It's a cost, and the cost is we make homes a little bit more expensive. And we're a product of gentrification, right? We help create it, and I'm not here to debate the gentrification being good or bad. It is a thing, and it happens, and that's what we're working on, right? It's what we're working with. And so as I'm realizing that this is a truth and a reality of what is a byproduct of wholesaling, I figure out that I could potentially have an opportunity to do something here, right? And I learn about co-living. I learn about the fact that there's just this built-in demand for affordability that doesn't exist anywhere else. So I start doing some research, and it just so happens that this is in a time where I'm writing another check to the IRS for $1 million because it's tax time. And it burns me every single time I do that.
So
right?
painful.
It's just I hate this so much. You guys do nothing for me.
Yeah.
But I write the check and away I go. I'm like, why does Pace pay no taxes? And why do I pay so many taxes? And every year he sends me a picture of his refund. Just to clown me, right? Just to clown me. He does it every year. And so the reality is that it's because I'm not owning enough real estate. I just don't own enough real estate. I'm a wholesaler by nature.
How else are you gonna write it off?
Active income. I'm just the guy. Every time I'm left with a decision, wholesale or hold, I choose wholesale. Every single time. It's just been my MO. Right. I'm a bird in the hand guy. F the bush. And so I now realize the folly of that. Right. So I have an idea. I want to own some homes, but I don't want to own a headache. I also am not satisfied with $200 to $500 a month in cash flow a house, which is all you get if you're doing Section 8, even Airbnb.
It's not sexy.
It's not sexy. And I tried Airbnb, right? I own a $3 million house at the end of the street here. Wasn't working on Airbnb.
What was the problem with it?
Just people, it's just too sparse. There's too much competition.
Yeah.
To put it into context, in 2017, there were 5,000 Airbnb listings in Phoenix, Arizona. Today, there's 25,000 Airbnb listings in the same market.
Yeah, so there's no margin left.
There's just no margin left. And the people who got in 2017 or up to 2020 who had low interest rates on their homes, sure, they can cash
Weather
flow.
the storm.
They can weather it because even with increased or decreased demand, their payments and their basis is so low that it's still money making for them. So I'm not here to say to the people, because I get a lot of people that comment on my ads and say, you don't know about how good my Airbnb is. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, because you got in early. Good for you. Congratulations.
You're one Airbnb.
But there's so many people who don't have that experience.
Yeah.
Right? Case in point, I buy a house in LA on the beach for the purpose of Airbnb-ing it and then staying there when I want a vacation. I would go there to Marina Del Rey and spend $2,000 a night to go and have a hangout on the weekend. And that's a lot of money to just hang out at the beach, right? So I get an opportunity to buy an oceanfront home wholesale in Marina Del Rey, and I take it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be the most sickest Airbnb. I'm going to live here and Airbnb it when I'm not there. It's going to be amazing, This is December 2021, January 2022. Airbnb is banned in Los Angeles. And now I got a $10,000 a month payment on this freaking beachfront home, right? So I'm like, okay, dope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like literally, that's the house you guys have seen. Yeah. And now it's been a great time. It's rented right now to fire people who lost their home in a fire in the Palisades. So I'm not negative on it. It covers its thing. I had a really good basis on it because I bought it wholesale. It's in beautiful shape, and it's going to make us a couple $1 million when we sell it. So I'm not complaining about owning a beachfront home in LA. Okay.
Yeah.
But the reality is it wasn't what it was cut out to be.
Sure.
And it didn't save me much on taxes. It didn't do a lot. So I realize Airbnb is kind of for the birds at this point. It's declining incredibly fast. The amount of fees that Airbnb charges their users is oppressively high.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Go direct.
I just rented an Airbnb in Kauai for a month.
Yep.
It was a lot of money. And then I go to check out, and the amount that it increased just for the taxes and the fees and everything, I was like, whoa. I literally called the owner. I was like, hey, can you do something about decreasing your price? Because these fees are insane. And they did, because they obviously wanted to rent their house for a month.
Sure.
But the fees are insane.
Yeah, they're insane, right? And the platform is eating itself at this point, I feel like, right? But that's for other people to determine. I think they're doing what they're doing because they're probably going to do a big raise or some kind of PE exit, and so Airbnb is looking at profitability at this point. Well, good for them, right? Bottom line is for an investor who's looking for a cash flowing investment that's going to be some semi-passive. It's not going to be an Airbnb. I had done Section 8 before. Section 8, yeah, it's steady. Yes, the money comes from the government, but you're locked into rates. Market changes, you're stuck. So if people are getting more rent, you're not getting more rent. In addition to that, the yearly inspections are just almost random with what they ask you to do. Because one inspector 1 year sees no problem. The next year, one guy's like, you got to move all of your handles up 3 inches. Why? Tell me why. It's just the code. It's like, it wasn't the code last year. It wasn't the code the year before. So why is it the code now? Did code change? They must have missed it. Okay, cool, thanks. So you get one thing go wrong in a house like that you're cash flowing $200 a month.
It's over for you.
You don't make any profit. So why would I want to do that, right? Plus the wear and tear of Section 8, not for me, right? So I hear about this co-living thing. I'm like, sounds like a nightmare, right? It's going to be a bunch of people on fentanyl, renting the room by the week in my house, pooping on the bed. Like, no, I'm not doing this. Then I explore it, and I learn about it, and I see that that's not what it is. It's like minimalists and working professionals and people who are just not interested in begging, like wrecking their monthly income by spending half of it on housing. Mm-hmm. They're just regular people, working human beings. And a lot of them don't even have cars. They just take transit and Uber. They're just like super minimalists. Yeah. And there's some people who are like, man, I'm only in co-living because I have no friends. I'm literally just here alone, and I work all the time. And so this gives me an opportunity to hang out with some people and make some friends, which is really neat. And so I'm seeing that there's some positive things here. Now, of course, I'm also seeing ways that people are not doing it well.
Sure.
Right? So I see houses where it's like a 6-bedroom, 2 bathrooms. So now you got 6 people sharing 2 bathrooms, which they all complain about. I looked at some of the kitchens that people were putting together, and I see these dishwashers and people fighting over dishwashers and who's going to load it and who's going to unload it and who's going to fill it and who's going to run it. And it's like, yeah, nobody eats at the same time. Like, this is pointless. And, so-and-so stealing my food, or this is like, I don't have my own place to store my things. And so I'm listening to all these issues and thinking about how to maybe resolve them, right? My mind just goes to solving the problem. Oh, this guy likes the house at 68, and I have low blood circulation, and I'm freezing all the time, so I have to wear a parka around
These
the
all
house.
sound like super real problems.
These all sound like very valid issues.
Yeah, super valid issues. So we figured out that, okay, maybe we need to redo the model. How do we make this more viable? What can we do to increase the stickiness of people wanting to be there? And then how do we find these people? So we initially start with Pad Split. Great partner for us in the time. They were, their pricing structure and all the things made a lot of sense. But I started to notice that, like, over time when I was on the platform, my houses were like having more vacancies than necessary. Okay. And then that was kind of bothersome for me. And then there was the issue that they changed their billing model to, they now charge for the first 10 days of a stay. And so that just incentivizes higher turnover, right? So if you're making money on the first 10 days of putting an occupant there, then your next income producing event is when they leave and you put another person in, right? And so that doesn't make sense for me. Yeah. And so we start this whole process of like going off and figuring it out. So we don't use Pad Split anymore. All of our demand is coming specifically from nonprofits. And I have a 6-month wait list. I put 30 beds on the market, and Mercy Care takes them immediately. And so now I have a deficiency again. And so every time I finish a project, everything gets taken, and then I got to start building more. And so I'm in this incredible situation where I've got no vacancies, and I figured out
a lot of demand.
A lot of demand. And tell me, do you think affordability is going to change in the next decade? No, it's not. So, the writing on the wall is what it is. I'm in the time. I'm writing the current of the time. And so the time right now is affordability is at an all-time low. Inflation is at an all-time high. How do you make this better? Well, you reduce the cost of housing. So how do I get the problem solved in the house first? Well, we do 1-to-1 bed-to-bath ratios. Booty's got cooties, man. Nobody's got to share, right? So
Are those en suites, or how do you figure out? Okay.
They're all en suites.
So is there a house that you're buying, like
1,800 square feet.
1,800, and that's minimum?
That's our standard.
So you don't want to be too much more, I'm guessing?
Yep.
How many?
1,850 is perfect.
So you're converting bedrooms and converting living rooms?
Yep, not living rooms. We keep a small living area because that's necessary. I want to keep the house a lot like the original, so that if I need to sell it, I can sell it, right? I'm not going to run into a problem.
So you're putting up walls in bedrooms to make the rooms smaller?
We redo the footprint, and we take away a lot of underutilized space, like dining rooms, for instance. One of the most nonsensical rooms in the home. When I ask low-income people about like houses and what they feel about the way that they're laid out, the biggest complaint I get is how dining rooms are like one of the most useless things. Nobody uses them. Nobody sits there. Yeah. They would be way better off as bedrooms. Why is this here? Especially if I have an island where people are eating on the island, then what do I need a dining room for? If you go to people's homes, you buy people's homes, look at the dining room, look at the dishes in the hutch. It's dust. Look at the dining table. It becomes storage for papers. It's never a dining room. Yeah. How many dining rooms have you walked into as a wholesaler and seen it be used for eating?
So it's like a staging place.
It's a staging place. It's a mess place, right?
What's up, Deal Champs? I hope you're enjoying the podcast. I want to take a second to tell you a little bit more about the Deal Champs community. If you're looking to be around other real estate investors doing deals with the common goal of building a business of freedom to live the life you want to live, then you need to get the right information to be successful and the support to do it. If that sounds like you, Deal Champs Community is the right fit. Just head over to dealchamps.com to learn more and apply. Now let's get back to the podcast. Let's go.
So what's a typical house? Is it a 3-bedroom, 2-bath? Is it a 4-bedroom, 2-bath? And then where are you putting these extra bathrooms?
We just reconfigure. That's the beauty of what my sister can do. She's a genius when it comes to reconfiguring space. She figures it out. We redraw the entire interior and footprint. So we'll knock everything out. Give me the shell. We'll knock the entire
pretty much
inside
gutting the
out.
house?
Yeah, and we reframe the whole thing.
Wow.
And so we just get to redraw it. And on an 1850 square foot footprint, it fits a 6'6" perfectly. So that's the first structure. Now in Phoenix, they've added more zoning reform where I can now put 2 4-bed, 4-bath ADUs on that same property. So now I got an additional 8 units.
4-bed, 4-bath.
Yes, yes. So I can get anywhere from 14 to 18 doors now on a single family lot here in Phoenix.
How much in square footage you can add with those ADUs?
I believe it's 400 square feet.
How large does the lot have to be?
At minimum 7,000 square feet for me to do this.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question, by the way. That's typically the barrier for what I can buy. Now, I love to do these new construction. The more land I can get and do this new construction, the better it is because those become infinite deals for me. When I get my DSCR loan, I refi all my money out typically, and now I'm in it for nothing. Yeah. And it's cash flowing forever. So those are beautiful.
You're saying on the new construction ones, you're able to do that easier or better?
Easier because
what about that?
I'm forcing more appreciation buying the land raw.
Okay.
So my profit margins are bigger, so I have more equity built in when I refi, and I'm typically creating at least 25% of value for an increased value or forced appreciated value. So when I do get my DSCR loan at 75% LTV, I'm in it for nothing.
Yeah. That's what I call the perfect burr.
Perfect burr.
You just have no money in it.
Yep.
I just closed on one yesterday that I'm going to be doing a DSCR loan on, and it's going to be a perfect burr.
Yeah. And it's amazing because for me, these still cash flow $2,500 to $3,000 a month with no money in it, which is phenomenal, right? And so with that said, we solved the problems, right? Every bedroom's got a bath.
Booty's got cooties.
Booty's got cooties. We don't do HVAC, like 5-ton HVACs anymore. It's mini splits everywhere.
Mini split in every room?
Everyone has their own setting.
How'd you get around the kitchen problem?
2 fridges, no dishwasher. Everybody does their own dishes, right? We put locks on the pantries. So we have a really interesting design. So we have long pantries, and we put 6 pantries in the kitchen so that there's 3 and 3. It flanks the fridges. So it's like really easy to tell. They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they got their own pantry. They get to put their crap in there, and then
Got a little key code to get in?
They do. And then the other piece of it is that we will do a little event every month at these places. So we'll do credit counseling. We'll do job training placement if people want to upgrade their career. We'll do meditations, breath work, things that are important just in life. They are so happy with just the little bits of community and connection that they get to have in that they're no desire to leave. In addition to that, we build little gardens in the backyard, and then we plant whatever herbs they want. So it's like it becomes a thing. And then once a week, someone will cook for the whole house.
Yeah.
Right? That's because they like each other. Yeah. So the problems are solved. The cash flow is crazy. And so for me now, it's just a matter of keeping up with the demand. That's the name of my game.
How do you, real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you screen and match them to make sure it goes well?
Well, good question. So we don't do any of that. We have our contracts with big organizations, big nonprofits.
They figure it out.
So they're figuring it out. They screen their people. Nice. They know who can go where. They understand.
They're checking in with the people.
Of course. It's and they cut the check, right? So it's like a whole thing for me. It's business to business. I'm not business to consumer.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you
That's a lot nicer.
I know in California they do this kind of with like halfway houses, and it's triple netted to nonprofits. Like, would you do something?
We do have that. Yeah, we've got I think it's Perryville prison, women's prison. So our houses house female inmates that are being released.
And they're coming out.
They're in day parole, or they're just off of day parole, but they're still in some type of a checking in kind of situation where they like probation or whatever. But these are people reintegrating into society and doing their thing. Now, the big play for us here is figuring out how can we create industry for these people and give them jobs, right? And so that's the next thing. And we haven't solved that. We haven't even began to solve it yet, but that's, I believe, the next step for us.
I gotta connect you with. Did you ever meet Cletus? You met Cletus and Aaron when you came out there.
Yeah, good dudes.
Cletus he was the president of West Care in California.
Amazing.
And it's a nonprofit that essentially does all that.
Yeah.
I'll connect you with him.
I would love that. Yeah, any of these nonprofits that have a housing component with them, they need the housing, and their grants are tied to the housing.
Right.
So they're waiting for you to come up and be like, hey, I got a house for you. And so they take everything we have. We finish a project, they're like, we'll take all of them. When's the next one going to be done?
And who are these typical nonprofits? Like I'm just writing down questions. The first one you said, Discovery?
Mercy Care.
Mercy Care.
Yeah,
So
Banner Health. It's just healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah, healthcare stuff, assisted care and things of that nature. Banner Health, Mercy Care.
Like rehabilitation
Yeah,
programs.
Dress
and
for
stuff like that.
Success is another one that again is female inmates. So those are the majority of our nonprofits that right now we're working with. Now we're also working on something with the Department of Justice right now. I can't get into the details on that, but there'll potentially could be a contract there as well.
Does it feel difficult to locate the house, or are you able to pay a higher price for the house because the numbers just work out? Or are you still looking for the numbers got to make sense? I got to get it at the right price.
The numbers got to make sense. I have to be able to force some appreciation.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to I get a lot of people sending me turnkey houses. I'm not going to do that deal because I'm not going to trap my money in it. Yeah. I can't do them on sub twos because I'm going to have trapped money in the deal. Too much trapped money on the deal. Right. I need something that is going to have a wholesale component to it so I can force appreciation, make it worth more, and take my money out.
Yeah, not trapping the money. That's a huge part of it because you can make anything work.
Yeah, but
if you put a bunch of money
I'm not
into
trying to
it.
do gymnastics to make something work, right? I want something to be flexible on its own.
Yeah.
What does it cost to turn over a 1850 square foot house to have you and your sister well, your sister's the genius behind that. She's like,
yeah, you're gutting a house, right?
You're gutting the house. I know I'm in for X amount of dollars.
Yeah, it's like new construction, somewhere in the $120 to $140 a foot.
Okay.
It's not cheap, you know, but the cash flow for what it is that's why forcing appreciation is necessary so I can get some capital out, right? It's just that. But they're extensive remodels. Like it's a lot of work.
It's a big one.
And I'm just thinking, so do you essentially put the bathrooms just back to back in order so that way you don't have to tie into anything else, and that's how you do it?
So you bought a lot in 1 year. You've gone all in on it. Is the plan to just keep growing it? Is it hard to find it? Has the market shifted, or is it just ripe and ready for it?
We're in a really cool market right now because it's a buyer's market, so it's like taking candy from a baby. Now, I get to be picky right now because I'm like, I want a better deal. So I pass on a lot of good deals looking for the best. But that'll shift. You know, interest rates will come down and I'm going to have to get a little bit, more liberal on my profits and whatever. But that's fine. You know, I'm just enjoying it while it is what it is right now. It's perfect timing because when it's a buyer's market, I can make realistic offers and I can get those accepted when there's motivation, right? And so it's a really nice time for me right now with where things are. I'm one of those weirdos that's like, I want the market to stay exactly as it is right now because it's benefiting me.
Yeah.
But of course, it'll change and then I'll have to pivot and figure out how to create new value from paying more money.
And your deal flow has to be crazy, bro. Like,
I mean,
you've been in the game for so long.
Yeah.
And everybody has to be bringing you everything. You're like, okay, how do you sort that? Does the assistant go through it all? Because I know that I connected you with Terry for this exact reason the other day.
So I have people in the Astro community. I like to do deals with my folks, right? So if I can get people in it, so like right now I'm paying so that I don't have to go through all of it. So I have layers of filtration. Deal comes to me, folks from the community look at it, then they only make me look at it a second time if there's an opportunity. And then I look at it, and if there's one, then I send my sister, right? So it kind of trickles up, probably hundreds of leads coming in a day, and then I'll take a look at 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that hundreds of leads out here in a day?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So you were posting a lot on social media about the market, how it's shifting, becoming a buyer's market, how you should be going in, and you were giving agents a hard time of listing properties too high, and how the market's going to come down. They're going to see how they need to adjust and be realistic. How are you taking advantage of that in the market right now? Are you making a lot of offers on the market, or is it just purely through your relationships and on the wholesale side of things?
Both. I'm leaving no stone uncovered because I have such a high demand right now. I do need more houses. I'm not filling my demand. That's for sure. I could do a lot more. I could do a lot more right now if I had more deals. So I'm going online, looking at MLS, doing JVs with wholesalers, going after my own agent outreach deals. Like all of the funnels are firing. The only one I'm not really doing is pay per lead or pay per click because I'm cheap, too Indian for that. Yeah.
I love that. What's the business side of co-living? Is that, you said there's a lot of B2B, you've got the nonprofits really handling a lot of the communication and checking in on people. You already mentioned some of the business side of, bringing in people during the month and doing things to like enrich their experience. Is there a lot of like overhead management, hands-on type of daily, fixing toilets and, different things like that?
Yeah, we got fun note. When I started getting a little bit, so the other thing with Pad Split, like again, I'm not here to disparage them at all. They're wonderful and they're super helpful for me in markets where we don't exist and even getting started. I have so much respect and admiration for their trailblazing the work that we're benefiting off of right now. So lots of love to Pad Split. But when I again wanted to make the pivot, I saw that there was a hole in their service because of course they will lease the places out for you. So like they find the occupants, but they do no management. They do no like repairs, no cleaning, no nothing. So then you got to have a separate manager.
Now.
Yeah.
Not just 2 toilets, you got 6.
Exactly. So you got to have a separate manager, right? And so that was also costly. So they charge you a fee, and then another guy charges you a fee, and so then you're like 25% a month in.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, well, how can I do it for less? And how can I do it better? Well, I just make my own. So I build a better mousetrap. Right? So yeah, we do have maintenance people on, full time. We've got a portal that we built, so there's a management software that we built in there that's going to add more value to our company because anything with tech in it is worth more. And then in addition to that, it's our management company, right? So I get to profit.
So you manage yours, and now you manage other people's too.
Correct.
Right? Is that just here in Arizona?
For the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. I will definitely expand that strategically, but right now I just want to make sure that we're taken care of. The people in our community who are building with us and doing deals with us, I want to make sure that they're all taken care of and that we are all really enjoying our cash flow. And then once that's handled, and I know that I'll be able to do that without sacrificing any success for the people who are paying to work with me, then I'll make it more of a public service.
How long are these tenants staying? And like,
On average, for me, about 11 months.
11 months?
Yeah.
Where do they go after that? To another house or?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't. The farmer the people just told me they went to a farm to live out the rest of their life. I don't know I don't know where they go. At that point, they're out of my care.
You take them in the Astro van out to the green pastures.
Yep, to greener pastures. I think what ends up happening is they're solid in life. Maybe they get into a relationship or they figure something out. They maybe decide to relocate. There's a lot of things and factors.
Get their feet underneath them.
Yeah, and so the beautiful thing is they stay with me until they're on their feet, until they're like ready and they feel good and they're dignified. They feel like they're in a good spot and it's time to go, and then it's time for them to take their next step, and I'm super happy for them to do it. And then we have some who say, I'm never leaving, man. This place has been the biggest blessing of my life, and I'm just so grateful for you and your sister that you guys did this. I love my place. I love my room. I love my bathroom. I love everything about this house. I take care of it. I do the yard work. Like, I just love it. Even though you guys pay landscapers, I'm still out there doing stuff. I planted things. I don't know if you noticed. I got some things. He's like, I water them myself because there's no irrigation, but I just like doing it. And so there's just like these people in there who this is their world, and they're just enjoying. They're so grateful.
Yeah.
They're so grateful for the spot. They really, really love it. And I get a kick out of that. I get a kick out of that because for me, it's like, man, I've seen a lot of frowns over 7,000 wholesale deals. Lots of frowns, lots of problems, man. You're dealing with a market segment that's in distress. And it's distressful situations and distressful lives. And you see the product of dysfunction is what we see a lot of, right?
There's a very typical avatar of who we are dealing with.
100%.
As far as the seller.
And so it's nice to see another aspect of it, right? I get to see smiling faces. I get to see people on the mend. I get to see people rebuilding. I get to see people spreading their wings and getting out and like taking flight in life. And that's a beautiful thing to be surrounded by. And now at 47, I want to see more of that in my days than I want to see the other, you know?
Yeah.
How much extra are you putting into this for wear and tear when you guys are going in on these?
I mean,
just because you know it's going to be a shorter cycle?
Yeah, we use high quality products, you know, like we have a partnership with Home Depot, which has been really, really, really beneficial for us. Like I got so much love for Home Depot. Home Depot came in and seen what we were doing, and they immediately realized that there was an opportunity for them to participate in a really necessary segment and solution to a growing concern in housing. And so we were given the highest level discount that Home Depot can provide. It's called a Tier 4 discount. Wow. It's the same discount that D.R. Horton gets. Oh, man. So imagine how much they spend. Like when I look at how much we save on building materials, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
So we get a tremendous amount of benefit from Home Depot. Everybody who comes into my Housing Alchemy community also gets the same discount, which is neat.
Oh, wow.
So like a lot of them, some of them just join for the discount. They're like,
no
bro,
kidding.
I'm in the middle of a fix and flip right now.
The value add
your discount's
is
going to
there.
save 100%. So that's a real thing, you know, and I get it. Those people never show up to the calls, and it's fine. I'm like, okay, you're just here for the discount. That's okay. Do your thing, dog. It's what it is. What it is. But it's nice, you know, and we have lots of high-level sponsors like that. So Home Depot got involved. Now Walmart got involved. They furnished one of our houses for the last one we did, and they gave us a $10,000 check for the benefit of the people living there. And so, like, these are massive corporations getting involved and doubling down behind us. We've got the governor that's saying that I love affordable housing, and I love all initiatives that are helping increase that. And so, in response to what I was getting from municipalities and cities looking at Airbnb and all the regulation that was against it, now I'm on a tide where the regulation is in favor of it. And so it's nice. It's good not to be like running away from regulation. I've been running away from regulation in wholesale, ran away from regulation in Airbnb. I'm tired of running away from regulators, man. Like, enough. I want to work where they are opening the doors for me, not closing them, you know?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
And I think wholesale has 2 years on it before it's a fully regulated practice where you're going to need a license or you're going to need to close and then resell. I think the writing is on the wall. It's happening market after market after market after market. And you get these dipshits, excuse my language, out there who are ruining it for everybody because they're taking advantage of folks. They're lying to people. They're predating. They're being predators. They are really taking advantage of what was a really beautiful opportunity, and they're ruining it. And you know, maybe people will say, hey, you caused that, Jamil. You trained too many wholesalers. Well, I trained them in an ethical manner. You know, one of the things that I can really pride myself on is I've always taught ethics, how to do the right thing, how to be a good human being in this transaction, how to care for everybody involved. And you look at anything that I've said online, you look at anything that I've said in my courses, it has always been in that. Read my book, From Bigger Pockets. It was about ethical wholesaling. Why do I do agent outreach? Because I believe that an advocate should be in the transaction for the seller. You know, make sure that I'm not taking advantage of them. Make sure I'm putting up EMD. Make sure that I'm closing on time. Make sure I'm doing my job. If I'm making a promise, hold me to it. How many people are sitting in contracts on wholesale deals where the closing date's the same day as the end of inspection? Are you kidding me? Really? This guy's in a U-Haul right now and you canceled? And you canceled today?
Yeah.
Come on. So I've been seeing it happen. The writing is on the wall. You guys see it. You guys have seen it, and you guys are educators. You've seen folks do it correctly, and you've seen people do it incorrectly. And you probably shake your head at the ones that are doing it wrong. And the ones that are doing it right, you probably do business with them. But the ones that are doing it wrong are the ones that are making it loud. The ones that are doing it wrong are the ones that are going to make it hard. And the ones that are doing it wrong are the ones that are going to make this regulated.
Yeah. There's always bad actors you're going to find.
Always.
Make it hard. So you've had a lot of transition lately. Okay, we were even talking about it before the pod started.
Yeah.
Them
now.
What's that?
Just kidding.
We're not going there. But let's talk about some of these big things that have happened, right? So Astro flipping and KeyGlee and the TV show, and now you're transitioning to co-living. You want to just kind of talk about some of your experiences through that and some of the events that have taken place?
Yeah, it was like, I think that energetically, spiritually, because I think entrepreneurship is a spiritual process. I think all of life is really. And so I'm in a dance, and I was at the end of the first, what do they call those in a play? I was at the end
First
of the
act?
First act, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was my third act. I don't know, but we'll see. The reality is that I was at the end of an era for me. I needed to make some shifts. I made some, shifts in my family life. A marriage ended, which was a sad thing for me, but also it developed into a beautiful friendship with my ex. So that's a beautiful thing. But I've met a beautiful woman that, thanks to you, actually, you introduced me to an incredible.
This is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
I knew that you guys had to connect. I knew you guys energy-wise. I knew that life experiences. Just there was gonna be a good connection that came from it.
It was an explosive one, honestly.
And the fact that it took off the way it did is
it was actually a slow roll.
So excited about that.
We were friends for like 6 months, just like trading casual DMs, text messages, being nice to each other. But what was really fun is in that friendship, like she met my kid, met my mom, and we would just go on walks and like do normal stuff. Right? It was really cute, wholesome.
That was such a great event because I'm like, all right, she's a great person, you're a great person, you guys have to connect. I got to meet your sister that day. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? We almost had her here today.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
she's
she had some
she's a rock star.
prior commitments.
Right?
She really is.
So, what a fun evening.
And we got to have dinner with you. I love that.
Yeah. It was a good time. Really good time. That charity event was pivotal for me, and I'm so grateful for you for it. I'll never forget you for it, because I truly am like I'm in a crazy season of my life. I'm happy, I'm healthy, my money's right, I'm doing something that has a lot of purpose in it. I have a wonderful relationship with my kid. I'm all things are up. And that's a really, really good thing to feel sometimes. It's not always like that.
No.
So I get to enjoy the season of wins right now. It was a tough one, though. Like 2 years where they beat the crap out of me, man. I broke my neck and re-broke my neck, right? Which was terrible.
You were walking around with a brace, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I had a C1 to 6 fusion. I have a fake spine. I have implants in my spine.
The top one?
Yeah, C1 all the through 6.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you like?
Oh yeah, just about that. That's about it.
It's too much yoga, or what was it?
I broke it in a motor vehicle accident 15 years prior, and then they didn't tell me that these things degrade and need to be replaced every 10 or so years. And so it actually happened in my sleep.
Wow.
I woke up one morning numb from the neck down, and then when I got to the doctor, they said, you need to get to an ambulance like immediately. And then in the emergency, they said to me, you need a emergency spinal fusion tomorrow morning. Now, the funny thing about it was I had just sold a mastermind that was going to happen at the Friday of that week. And I sold 100 tickets at $10,000 a pop. So I'm $1 million in, and we've already spent 600,000 of it in fulfillment of this mastermind, right? So what am I going to do? Like, I refund everybody their money and I lose the $600K, so I'm out $1.6 million because my neck broke while I was sleeping? That can't happen.
That's fucking crazy.
Right? So I fulfilled.
Were you in a wheelchair at the event, or what?
Bro, that's exactly what I did.
Pulling out the gurney,
these guys all show up. They're like, there's no way this guy's coming. there's no way this guy's going to be here. This guy's been on, we've seen his Instagram. He's in the hospital. He's got like he's got a slit in his throat because that's where they go in.
I remember seeing that. That's right.
And there I was, I with in a cane, and I wobbled my butt right up to the front of that room. And
what a trip.
And I finished it. And I did the job. But you know, that was also the end of my marriage, right? That was a lot of things. And so I had to rebuild from that place. I was at the lowest point of my life. My money was all starting to get weird. You know, I think Astro had its crescendo in the marketplace. And I think that the real estate market was starting to turn also. And so there was just a lot of things happening in my world that were like not going in the right direction. So it was a really great opportunity for me to take inventory of me, what was important to me, who was around me, and how I wanted to really progress. And so I did the things. I did the hard work. I went and I got therapy, you know. I really introspected. I really took my own advice and sat in stillness, and I learned about breath work. And that was a massive change for me in my world because it unleashed aspects of me that I had no idea existed. And so now I'm in a much more defined headspace and heart space that allow me to weather whatever's coming at me. And so even when things get really weird, because they still do, I have a lot of ups and downs, the downs have no effect on me. I'm like, I've seen worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a crazy time for all that to crescendo at the same time. Though.
Yeah. A lot happened at once.
Life comes in waves like that, though.
Oh, big time. It's like, because life has a rhythm, right? Everything has a rhythm. If you look at all of it, all of creation has a rhythm. Expansion, contraction, it all does. Our life follows the same thing. Our development as people follows the same thing. The evolution of the earth has the same thing. Everything expands, contracts. And when you understand that life is a wave, then when it's at a peak, you enjoy the hell out of it. And when it's at a valley, you figure out what's needed for you to enjoy the next peak. And you do and govern yourself the way you need to.
Was there anything harder than that's happened in your life before, like that, like 2 year span? Like, have there been anything that was that hard?
Yeah. I mean, you know.
I mean, the 08 thing was crazy.
08 was hard,
Yeah.
right?
08 was crazy.
08 was hard. I mean, the violence that I grew up in was hard. Yeah, prior to all that, I didn't have an easy run of it as a youngster. It was tough. I hung out with really, interesting people, and I had to survive that too, right? It was just, there were lots of things. I don't live in any of it though, right? I've got stories to tell about what I've seen, where I've been, and I know that a lot of people love to use their like past as their fame,
Right.
Like Wes Watson. You don't know Wes Watson for Wes Watson. You know him as a guy who did 10 years in jail, right?
That's
it's
very
like
true.
like he's just like, I went to prison and I'm still badass, so follow me. Pay me 20 grand so I can tell you suck. You got tits, right? That's what Wes's whole shtick is, right? And so, cool, good for you, dude, right? Like that's his thing. He lives in his past. It's his claim to fame. I could give a fuck about my past, dude, because it has nothing, no bearing on who I am today, and other than it's made me better. But I am not living in that energy.
Well,
So
now I think we talked about how like you need to make room
You do.
for it and say, okay, that aspect of it all is over. Now I can fully focus on this. I have all the room for this, and I'm going all in on this. And you don't think about it anymore. Because like you said, it's like a previous act and it doesn't really exist anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing you have is here, right now, this moment, because it could all be over in a flash after it, right? And I've seen that. I've seen it in so many people. I've seen so many lives end. I've seen so many stories end. And you realize like it's not promised. There's not a ton of time. And you better make the best of it while you got it. And so that's really what I'm trying to do these days, is just make the best of all of it. And that means that it's busy and it's full, but it's also so beautiful, right? I get to enjoy my kid. Like, what dads who have a child who lives in another country get to fly there and live with their kid every month for a week and just do dad stuff? Pick them up from school, take them to school, make dinner, do homework, and do it again the next day. Who gets to do that, right? I get to do that. And I get to do that because A, I chose to do that, but B, the resources, this life, real estate, gave me the opportunity to.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for it, because if I didn't have real estate and wholesaling and all these things, then I would be in a 9-to-5 job, and then I would have a relationship with my daughter that allowed me to when I had a vacation.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be hard.
Really hard. So you've learned a lot over the past couple of years, gone through a lot of transitionary things. What do you see the future looking like for you? Like, what are your new aligned goals? What are your targets?
Yeah, I mean, I want 1,000 co-living homes.
Really?
Yep. I want 1,000 co-living homes, and I want to be an influence in another 6,000 getting made. And so the goal is to create one co-living home for every house I wholesaled.
Wow.
Yep. That's it. That's what I want to do. And so if I can do that, then I've kind of balanced the equation in my head and in my heart, how I need it to, and I can fade to black.
Go to Bali?
Yeah, something. You know, I mean, I still have too much energy right now for it to call it a day, and money doesn't matter. I mean, money matters to me. Don't get me wrong. I love making it, right? But like, you get to a point where you make so much and enough of it where it's just like, I can't spend this now. So like, now what? And so, yeah, I'm not there yet, because I still like to, you know, buy things and do things and whatnot, but I'll get there, and I'll be there soon. I know it. I can see it. So it's not out of reach for me. It's on the horizon. I get to the target number, and that's that. And then I have always lived in the world of spiritual development, you know, and that has been, I believe, why I've been successful in entrepreneurship. So I have been dialing in and really working on how that can be a part of my future. And so I created the Energy of Money community. It's like really, really select. It's a small group of people that all have this an understanding that entrepreneurship is a spiritual process, and money is energy. It's not created or destroyed. It's transferred from one form to another. Mm-hmm. And if you want more of it, then you have to figure out how to tap into it and harness it. And I think I've understood that, and I figured that out. And so I get to share that with people, and then I get to see their lives dramatically change. And as a result, mine does too. You know, I do the work that I tell others to do, and then I get to see the benefits of it as well. So it's like, it's a really fun compounding thing. But that's where I see myself in the next 10 years, is being more in this space of helping people overcome their stories, their traumas, their money story, their whole thing. And I can see how real estate will play into that as well. And so there's I think a really beautiful new chapter that will develop for me that I haven't yet defined, but I do know that it's a good one.
Bro, I love it. What are your final words for the people?
I mean, you know, I really wish that people could really understand how powerful they are, just how much they can do inside of them, what exists in there, and like your capacities. There's just so many folks that have just like resigned themselves to mediocrity and said, this is what it is for me. And I think if you're alive, then you have time.
It's never too late, right?
If you're alive, you've got time. And so no matter what you've told yourself, if it's too late or it's too much or it's, you know, too little or it's, you know, all the things, it's always something that is going to allow you to outsource your agency in your life and your money and your time. And when it becomes enough, when enough is enough, reach out to me.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
You've treated me like gold ever since I met you.
You're gold, bro. You're a gold dude. You know, you guys are both phenomenal guys, and I wouldn't, I would never miss an opportunity to hang out with you guys and chat and catch up and do all the things. I think you guys are phenomenal in what you do. I think what you guys have done for the Central Valley and Cali is really incredible, and I'm here for it, man. I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys, you know, continue to take over the California market the way you have been. You are just a phenom at your age. It's beautiful to see young guys get in there and make it happen and become millionaires, and then go out there and show other young guys. I mean, bro, look at you, right? Like you are, there's a lot of people who look like you, who've grown up like you, who may not have an idea that you're possible, that your life story is possible, and because you exist, they're going to be able to see that. And they're going to be able to live that as a result of you showing them that, right? And so I think all that. So you're too handsome. You're too white. you got
Captain America.
yeah, like bro. You know. So I don't have nothing to say for you, but you're just you're just Captain America as it is. But it's great, guys, and I'm super grateful to have you guys as friends. So thank you. Thank you both. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Later.
Peace.